This one's for you. Yo, Blue. Yo, Blue. Yo, Blue. This one's for you. This one's for you. This one's for you. Boy, Blue. Yo, Blue. Yo, Blue. Yo, Blue. This one's for you. The boy Blue. 91982. Getting down here on motherfucking YouTube. At my fucking homie, he's crazy as can be. Crazy motherfucking juggalo for you to see. Go Blue, look at him dance. Crazy motherfucker getting drunk with ants and plants. Bring it round for the boy Blue. 91982. Add a motherfucker, subscribe to him too. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. 91982. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. 91982, the boy Blue. He's got that clown ass face, a wicked little laugh, crazy eyes up in this place. Bring it back, motherfucker, for all that fucking shit. Look at this wicked ass homie on his head. Bring it back for the boy Blue. 91982. Let him come up to YOU. He's going crazy, motherfucker, up on this space. My space, the bitch, and you'll get him in your face. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. 91982. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. The boy Blue. 91982. For Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. Look at him on YouTube. Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. Add the motherfucker Blue in this house. Look at Crazy Mouse. Bring it back for laughs. Everybody getting down with Blue. My homie True. Now get it back for the boy Blue. 91982. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. Get it down for boy Blue. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. A crazy motherfucker on YouTube. Blue. He's dancing all around the place, getting hella drunk, hella high up in your face. He's coming round, wicked clown, getting down, down and round. Indeed, Delaware, bring it down for your way. Crazy shirtless motherfucker, tattoo on his chest for his motherfucking daughter. Yo Blue, bring it Rosie in it too. Bring it for his daughters, yeah, look at boy Blue. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. 91982. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. 91982. Wicked clown, getting down, juggalo, getting round. Wicked clown, collecting all that juggalo down. Yo Blue's getting down, ready for you motherfuckers. Juggalos online, bring it up for all you suckers. Bring it down for all the haters, hating on his shit. He says fuck the fuck off to your shit. Motherfucker, bring it down for this Norwegian clown. Singing this frown downtown for boy Blue. Go Blue, go Blue, go Blue. 91982. Yo Blue, yo Blue, yo Blue. Bring it down for the boy Blue. 91982. Blue, the boy Blue, the boy Blue, the boy Blue. 91982. The boy Blue, the boy Blue. 91982.
And I am a white piece of shit, and I do approve this message. Y'all stay safe. Have a good day. God bless.
All right, what's up, y'all?
When the police arrived, the intruder was gone.
I told Lacey I knew I was dying, but go and save Tony in case you needed.
But it was too late for 21-year-old Tommy Smith. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Jennifer and Casey were rushed to St. Francis Medical Center. My father came to get me at work, and he told me that Tommy had been killed. And I immediately freaked out in disbelief, no, it wasn't him, not Tommy. And it wasn't soon after that, but did find myself here that he was killed. Tommy Smith's actions were quite heroic. He took it upon himself to apprehend the suspect, put him in a chair, and stand over top of him, hold him there until police arrived. And in doing so, he sacrificed his life.
I don't think Tommy could have ever lived with one of them getting killed, especially Jennifer.
Police hoped the two girls would be able to identify their attacker. Connie Smith had to do what every parent dreads: plan the funeral of a child.
He was the neatest kid a mother could have. He was the best baby, best little boy, most loving young man. Even if he got mad, he never stayed half long. He would have made a great dad. He would have made a great husband. Because I know he was a great son.
Connie's fiancée Jennifer was in the intensive care unit near death. She had sustained multiple stab wounds, a cut throat, and a punctured lung. If Tommy Smith wouldn't have been in that house, those two young ladies wouldn't be here today. They'd be dead. I believe that. The crime scene gave mute testimony to the girl's intense will to survive. That he really did a number on both of the young ladies. They both exhibited a great deal of courage. They had a very strong constitution. They had a very strong will to live. Gradually, their conditions improved, but when they spoke to police, they could remember very little.
He just kept stabbing me all over and it hurt. But I didn't see any blood either.
She didn't state that it might mean that near home. She wasn't sure how.
I didn't remember. I can't remember what he looked like.
Investigators would have to rely on the crime scene for clues. They quickly concentrated their attention on the assailant's point of entry, a bedroom window. The outside screen was jarred and out of place and cut. Investigators were shocked by the amount of blood found in the home. Once he started cutting, he went to a fence. And at that point, he felt the only way that he could prevent the police from finding out who did this to these kids was to kill all three of them. In one of the bedrooms, amid the clutter, police found the wooden handle of the murder weapon. When the handle of the knife was located at the crime scene, it speaks of our suspect's plan in his hurry to flee the scene. Mrs. Johnson had grabbed the blade of the knife and was able to break it loose from the hand. Unfortunately, there were no fingerprints on it. Police found a party invitation on the floor near the point of entry. Police used black magnetic powder to see if the killer may have knocked it to the floor during the struggle. They were looking for the friction ridges of a fingerprint.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis? With fewer symptoms from moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, where would you go? Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. With Tremfya, clear skin is possible. And for adults with active psoriatic arthritis, Tremfya goes beyond the skin. Less joint pain, stiffness, and swelling is possible. And Tremfya even reduce fatigue. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or you need a vaccine. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. It's time. The Genesis signature event. Going on now. Get 2.99% APR for 60 months on select Genesis vehicles, exclusively for Philadelphia area Genesis retailers.
I made a huge mistake the first time I tried weight loss medication. I didn't do my research, and I wasted my money on something that didn't work. Then a friend told me about Trello and every tip failed. Within a few days, I noticed a difference in how I felt. Over time, my clothes began fitting better, and I felt more confident in my choices. For the first time in ages, I feel the best version of me. If you're tired of wasting your time and money, go with the biggest support to be looking for.
AC. While interviewing neighbors, police were surprised to learn that despite the girl's screams, no one saw the killer leave the crime scene. Police thought they had solved the case when they found blood on the screen door of a neighbor's home, Gene Brown.
And he explained that he had cut himself on the lower leg here in his garden shop.
Tests revealed the blood was Brown's, and investigators found broken glass in his trash can, which Brown said had caused the cut. Brown's palm print did not match the print on the party invitation at the crime scene. And neither Jennifer nor Casey identified their next-door neighbor as the assailant. Police suspected the killer lived nearby since he fled the scene on foot. And it was the foot which would lead police to the killer. Gary Siebenthal refused to give up in the search for Tommy Smith's killer. In reviewing the case, Siebenthal recalled something Jennifer and Casey had both remembered about the intruder.
I ended up taking the knife away from him because he had socks wrapped around his hands.
She did describe him as wearing what she thought khaki shorts. He was also described as being a black male, approximately 6'1", sweat girl with a mustache.
And the girls remembered something else. The intruder was barefoot. Why would a killer enter a home wearing socks on his hands, but nothing on his feet? And if the killer lived nearby, why didn't he cover his face?
He's breaking into a home where people can recognize him and certainly recognize him. And I think for the fact that he went in there quietly, armed with a knife, that his intention all along was to do great harm to both the young ladies were with her.
But the fact that he was barefoot quickly became the
What up, one viewer?
of the investigation.
How you doing?
Let a little insight into what the strange print was on the cars. Because it didn't look like a palm print for the crime scene investigators. It was something strange that they had seen before.
Suddenly,
I'm trying to hand out wrenches. If you're a regular, say something so I can wrench you up.
If you look at certain parts of the palm, they can mimic parts.
I'm only wrenching up certain people.
Because they have the same characteristics. They have dots, short ridges, and bifurcations and trifurcations.
Was it possible that the perpetrator knocked the party invitation to the floor and then stepped on it? If so, the hot and muggy July night created the perfect conditions for leaving a print behind.
How he does that is through the moisture that the individual leaves in his fingerprints and his palm prints.
Siebenthal began the painstaking task of identifying the print. Using a microscope and a pointer, he examined the friction ridges. every bifurcation and trifurcation, which are points where one line divides into 2 or 3. Police have a fingerprint database they can refer to, but they don't collect footprints. On a hunch, police asked the girl's next-door neighbor, Gene Brown, for his.
We took his footprints to a search warrant. But taking footprints is something that the average person doesn't have to do when they're taken into custody.
Siebenthal compared Brown's footprints to the print on the party invitation.
You have to look for the uniqueness of those points of identification. And we found it off on the outside left heel print of Gene Autry Brown.
Gary Siebenthal had a match, and it was the first time in the history of the Peoria Police Department that a footprint had been recovered from a crime scene.
Why he had her shoes on, I have no idea, but it wasn't very smart. It wasn't the smartest thing you could do.
The average person doesn't realize that their footprints, in fact, are inherent to that particular person. They are as individualistic as fingerprints are. So, you know, he would have been as well off to leave the socks on his feet and put another pair on his hands.
In a search of Brown's home, police discovered a set of knives which were identical to the murder weapon, and they also found Casey Johnson's purse. Police found bloody socks with the broken blade of the murder weapon inside. And in one of the socks was Gene Brown's wedding ring. Finally, investigators found tiny traces of blood in Brown's hair.
He must have had a great deal of blood on him when he left the house after attacking the 3 individuals. And he still had blood on his body.
DNA tests of the blood sample showed it was from all 3 victims, Tommy, Jennifer, and Casey. Gene Brown was arrested and charged with murder.
He had a wife, he had a cute little boy, he had a family that cared for him, you know. And because he chose drugs, he took my son away from me.
When you entered the house and started across the bedroom towards the door,
I didn't see anyone, so I never did. But that's not the gun.
Purely Elizabeth is more than just granola. It's salty, sweet, irresistibly crunchy, obsession-worthy granola. Packed with superfoods, it makes every bite better. Purely Elizabeth, taste the obsession.
Now you can stream Fox News live on the Fox One app.
Story breaking right now.
The stories you won't find anywhere else.
This is far from over.
Fox One. Streaming now. My taxes been to these groups. Will they be back? Because I should. That's where Straight Talk Wireless comes in. Straight Talk's always been the same price since it started back in 2009. And they always offer free 5G phones for new and existing customers on America's most reliable 5G network. Straightforward prices.
With no potholes. Switch to Straight Talk Wireless. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises. And have plans starting at just $25 a month.
New Sensodyne Clinical Repair is absolutely amazing. When your teeth are sensitive, they need special care. New Sensodyne Clinical Repair creates a protective shield over those exposed areas that can help repair sensitive areas of teeth after 60 seconds. I recommend Sensodyne Clinical Repair.
Arthritis causes pain in your joints. Unlike pills, Voltaren gel is applied to the side of pain, penetrating deep through the skin to the joint, reducing intense pain caused by inflammation so you can move more freely. Voltaren, clinically proven, long-lasting arthritis pain relief.
Your gut is like a garden, growing both good bacteria and bad. That balance is key to a healthy gut environment. Benefiber's plant-based prebiotic fibers quickly nourishes the good bacteria, working with your body to help your gut and genes flourish. Effortlessly every day. Grow what feels
points out, you do not have to stop you or answer any questions unless you voluntarily choose to do so.
When police confronted Gene Brown with a mountain of evidence against him for the murder of 21-year-old Tommy Smith and the attacks on Jennifer Watson and Casey Johnson, he confessed.
Just right. But it's not as bad. I don't know. He's dressed it. He was more or less, he was trying to think about around the keep like that. So he tried being cut. Perfect time. He won't be struggled for any length of time. So he lost 1400. What ended this drug?
Using crack cocaine on the day of the attack. After having dinner with his wife and infant son, Brown said he needed money to buy more cocaine. He removed his shoes so he could walk quietly and used his socks to cover his hands to make sure he didn't leave any fingerprints. He entered the victim's home through an open window by removing the screen. But he never realized his feet could leave the very same prints as his fingers, just as distinctive, just as incriminating. Tommy Smith fought valiantly, but was no match for Brown's knife. Jennifer slipped out of the house when Brown was in the other room. Casey survived by playing dead after she was attacked. Prompt medical attention saved them both. Tommy Smith's best friend still struggles with the absurdity of it all.
It disgusted me that somebody would take a life like that for $1 so he could go get high. It was very, very senseless. A very senseless act.
You know, losing him so early, what made it bearable was he had 20 years and he enjoyed every one of them. He knew how to enjoy life.
Despite his confession, there are still parts of Brown's story detectives don't believe. Jennifer and Casey lived next door to Brown. Police think that Brown broke in with the intent to rape and kill the two girls and didn't realize that Tommy Smith had stayed over them.
He deliberately went barefoot. This was not a holy noise. He wore gloves to avoid leaving fingerprints. Took a knife with him that was still encased in a cardboard sheet so that he would not injure himself. He made no effort whatsoever to cover his face. And he's going into the home next door.
But it takes a bit of an evil individual to take a life hand to hand. To allow him to get through. He went from sneak thief to murder within moments.
In exchange for his guilty plea, Gene Brown was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Tommy Smith and 30 years for each count of attempted murder.
He did this in order to escape the chance of facing the death penalty in the trial. It was a capital case. And probably was a good one.
Little did Gene Brown know that Tommy Smith's mother would not have pushed for the death penalty.
I could not stand the thought of another mother standing over a casket with her son so cold, and another family going through what this family's went through. You know, having a son in prison for the rest of his life is bad. Nothing is worse than burying someone.
I don't know why it was happening.
state how sorry he was at this thing. But at the same time, he would protect himself. Call just what happened. Jennifer Logston is now married with children, but she still lives with emotional and physical scars from that attack.
He said he was sorry he didn't need to do it. And I can't forgive him yet. And I think he got deserved.
When you get caught doing something, you say, I'm sorry. Would you say you're sorry when you get caught? So I don't know. I don't believe it.
If Jean Brown hadn't gone barefoot that night, investigators wouldn't have recovered the valuable footprint that placed him at the crime scene.
I think it's the greatest irony of all. He's so smart and big eye.
Goes to show you the best way to plan some nicer game. He, in fact, tried going barefoot so that he would be quiet when he went through the house fire. In fact, left behind a tremendous piece of evidence.
You're able to point out to your suspect that they, in fact, are the best witness that we have against themselves. In the case of this particular footprint that was with, he did steal something.
All right, I'm now live on Juggler Drama Alert as well. What's up, y'all? I'm just laying down watching TV, hitting my vape.
Introducing new frosted sodas and floats. Float, hot, spin, and slide like an original. The original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich and new frosted sodas and floats. Only at Chick-fil-A.
With meal deals with value, you get this, and this. And honey chicken, or honey double, or a daily double. All of this for just these prices. Oh, who says you can't have it?
Burger. Actually, I have a chicken.
I feel like everyone's looking at us. Told you that bar was legit.
Woke up feeling like trash. Left my headphones at home. Handguards are lining up to use my equipment. Needless to say, the vibes are still gonna hit that piano.
With meal deals with value, you get this, and this. And honey chicken, or honey double, or a daily double. All of this for just
What up, 4 viewers?
who says you can't have it? With meal deals with value, you get this, and this. And honey chicken, or honey double, or a daily double. All of this for just these prices. Oh, who says you can't have it?
A young mother mysteriously died just hours after dining in an upscale restaurant. The search for clues revealed secrets hidden in an attic, an upscale gentleman's club, and underneath the young woman's skin. Shortly after midnight, police in the wealthy Philadelphia suburb received a frantic 911 call. 34-year-old Craig Rabinowitz said he had just found his wife Stephanie in the bathtub. When police arrived, they found Rabinowitz in the bathroom, holding his wife's head above the water. They performed CPR and rushed her to the hospital. Unfortunately, there was nothing doctors could do. When Craig learned of his wife's death, he collapsed in grief. Doctors had no explanation.
I asked the doctor, I'll be out of here. What do you think happened? And he said he really didn't know. He told me sometimes people die for unexplained reasons, whether an aneurysm, heart attack, whatever. But at first glance, there wasn't any sign of trauma.
Rabinowitz told police that he and his wife Stephanie had dinner at a Thai restaurant, came home, had a drink, and Stephanie took a bath while Craig said he watched television.
And while he was watching the hockey game, he heard a thump, which he attributed to the shampoo bottle falling on the floor of the bathroom. He didn't think much of it. He watched the hockey game for approximately 20, 30 minutes, and realized that his wife doesn't come back, got her from the bath. So he went into the bathroom and found her unconscious in the bathtub.
Detective Charles Craig had investigated many unusual deaths before, and a spouse with something to hide would usually act suspiciously, but not Craig Rabinowitz.
Generally, when we interview people, witnesses, victims, suspects, we look to see if they have eye contact with us, see if they're shaking or if they're very nervous or if they're perspiring, and he didn't exhibit any of those signs.
And police found nothing suspicious or out of place in the couple's home after Stephanie's death.
TV was on, the shampoo bottle was in the bathroom. There was water in the bathtub. We checked all the doors and windows and found the glass was secure. The bedroom didn't appear to have any signs of struggle. We didn't find blood or anything of that nature.
Craig and Stephanie were a classic love story. They've been together since they first met in summer camp as teenagers.
The Rabinowitzes were the perfect couple. In love, with good jobs. They had a beautiful young daughter, a year old. He had a business of his own, selling latex gloves and supplies. They've been married since 1990. She was a lawyer, Bryn Mawr and Temple University educated.
Craig was proud of his wife and worked hard.
What's going on?
Stephanie spoke about her marriage within very idyllic terms. She thought she had a wonderful relationship, almost a perfect relationship, and she was extremely happy.
Between her law practice and his business, they were very affluent and lived in the exclusive mainline section of Philadelphia. But even wealth and privilege can't prevent unfortunate incidents like the one that befell Stephanie Rabinowitz.
I came to the office Wednesday morning. I walked in, everyone was crying. I was shocked to hear that Stephanie had died Tuesday night. I had heard that she had an accident, that she drowned in the bathtub. That's all we were told.
But why had Stephanie drowned? Was it caused by something she ate, medication, or she depressed? Forensic investigators needed to find out more. The cause of Stephanie Rabinowitz's death was a mystery.
Stephanie Rabinowitz may have slipped, hit her head in the tub, subsequently drowned. It was a real tragedy. I have a 1-year-old child. Nobody else has any life. I was at a loss. I was actually going to die. So you had to try. I have several arrangements for that.
Stephanie came from a religious Jewish family. In accordance with her religion, Stephanie's parents and her husband Craig wanted to bury her before the next sundown.
It was a push to have Stephanie Rabinowitz very quickly for your Jewish custom.
The coroner overruled the family's wishes, saying he wanted to perform a complete autopsy. His action was cold police suggesting they investigate Craig's involvement in a gentleman's Delilah's Den.
Delilah's Den is the upscale strip club in Philadelphia. It's a place where it's not uncommon to see a lot of professional athletes, entertainers, people who visit Philadelphia for business people. And just some guys out to have a beer or basketball. The show has been Delilah's Den.
When detectives visited the club, they discovered Craig was a regular customer, and that his interest was primarily in only one dancer named Summer. Employees said this wasn't unusual.
Summer didn't come dance at Cloud Smith friends, and she was definitely the Derek Smith money, and she was starting to notice something was sharp, that she was always a big money maker. She always went after the customers that didn't have less money. You know, kind of be entertaining on stage and make it clear to the customers that we're gonna have a good time while you're here, because fun is the door. Or you can sort of draw the customers into this like longer, kind of drawn out fantasy and develop regular customers.
When interviewed, Summer admitted that Craig was a good customer, but strictly that a customer and not even her best one.
They each have 2 or 3 good customers and spend a lot of money on them. You know, buying the furnishings for their house, or paying repair bills, or doing demo work, that type of thing.
She said there was no sexual relationship between the two of them. They weren't dating or anything of that nature. We were always suspicious of that, of course.
And the dancers would buy cars from their customers, other elaborate gifts at jewelry, and apartments, etc.
Delilah's customers who want something a little cozier can get private dances in the champagne room. They use Delilah's dollars, house money bought with credit cards. Club records indicated Craig was spending as much as $3,000 a week at Delilah's. A lot of money, perhaps, but certainly not illegal.
In fact, Craig's visits to Delilah's were not unknown to Stephanie Rabinowitz. I think he had really told her that he did business there, and that is not an uncommon thing to see in any city with people who are doing business, especially something like sales.
Whether Craig's interest in Delilah's was professional or personal, it certainly didn't explain Stephanie's death. That would have to come from the forensic accountants.
Form's got a way to get better posture, better performance, and less tasty things. With Form's patented tech that aligns your body around any effort. You'll feel the change no matter what you're doing, before how you wear it. We're formed on science to find out more.
Today, data is the lifeblood of every organization. It needs to be instantly accessible to the right person at the right time and always protected from the moment it's born. Everpure, data management is so simple, it feels like second nature.
This is the story of the one who doesn't just see a broken tie. He sees lost revenue, a late night, and work stalled to a halt. Thankfully, he has the experience to handle whatever comes his way, and has Grainger on his side, offering access to technical product specialists and the scale to deliver fast. So he can keep his business in gear and always moving forward. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up?
Hunting for holiday deals. Blaming everything in your workshop. You're trying to make a 75-inch TV out of a block of wood. Sorry. Like her, I need the best deals. We both have a lot of specific wish lists.
Wish lists now. That's why it hasn't drove buses every Friday all season.
Every Friday?
Who are you talking to?
No one?
Get new doorbusters every Friday all season long at Best Buy.
12 months before his wife's death, Craig Rabinowitz spent almost $100,000 in Delilah's Den.
$100,000. Damn.
Investigators searched the Rabinowitz's home for financial records, interested to know how Rabinowitz could afford this kind of spending.
He was a latex glove salesman, but nobody could really find a lot of latex gloves.
But detectives did find a hidden crawl space in the bedroom closet.
So basically, I just lifted the board, covered the crawl space, looked around, didn't see anything, but fell around the top of the crawl space and his bag, which turned out to be a shopping bag full of a lot of paperwork.
The paperwork included credit card receipts for Delilah's Den, hotel receipts, and gifts he had purchased for his favorite stripper. There was also pornography.
Basically, Craig Rabinowitz's double life was swirled away in the crawl space of the top of his home.
The bag contained pawn shop tickets proving Craig pawned Stephanie's heirloom jewelry just after she died. The bag also contained an accounting ledger, possibly for Craig's surgical glove business, but investigators weren't sure.
They brought in a forensic accountant, which I had never been involved in before. He very thoroughly and systematically went through every bill that Rabinowitz had.
Rick Zayas is an expert at finding the real cost or value in accounting records that have been written in a way to hide their true meaning.
He was describing imported containers of these latex gloves from overseas, that the cost of a container would be $20,000 or $22,000 per container, that he was then going to be able to sell those containers for twice that amount. That was the pitch. Sounds too good to be true.
It was too good to be true. Zayas discovered that Craig's latex glove distribution company had never bought or sold a single glove. The only money coming into the company was funds from investors, Craig's family and friends whom he was scamming with a Ponzi or pyramid scheme.
So the money from investor 2 was now going back to pay investor 1 and just keeping that cycle running.
And Zayas learned that Craig paid no office or warehouse rent anywhere in Philadelphia. The closest thing Craig had to an office was his seat at Delilah's strip club.
When his family, when his wife, when his friends, when his in-laws thought he was out making sales calls for his latex glove business, at least 1, 2, 3 days a week, Craig Rabinowitz was in a dark, air-conditioned strip club in a back room, getting couch dances and lap dances by a 24-year-old stripper.
Zayas estimated Craig was in debt to the tune of $800,000. He owed most of it to his shareholders who had invested in his non-existent business and who wanted their money back at some point with a profit. Apparently, not even Stephanie knew what was going on.
Of all the people at Craig Kahn, quite clearly, he kind of Stephanie most.
And the forensic accounting identified a possible motive for murder. On the inside,
Oh, Shrooms was here.
amounts that corresponded to the life insurance policies on staff, including $1.5
Lady Mistress was here.
Craig had just purchased.
Sorry, my screen froze. I just realized I didn't see you over here.
Craig's investors. He made small token payments to pacify them, and through a series of financial calculations, Zayas was able to tell when they were made.
They were only accurate for a limited period of time during the middle part of April of 1997.
Ah, what's up, Lady Mistress? How you doing? I'm just laying down watching Forensic Files.
Had literally done an accounting of the value of children's lives.
The insurance payout not only would have eliminated Craig's debt, but also allowed him to continue his extravagant relationship with Summer and still not have to work for a living. All of this showed motive, but if the medical examiner didn't rule Stephanie's death a homicide, it was salacious but little After Stephanie Rabinowitz's death, her family wanted a quick burial in accordance with their religious customs.
That's cool. You're okay.
Ian Hood, who overruled that request in order to perform a full autopsy. And almost immediately, that decision paid big dividends. The first clue was the food found in Stephanie's stomach.
We know she very recently ingested medication, and each branch were quite really seen with very low digestion fluid in context. So she always died probably within an hour or two with ingesting that.
That night, Stephanie died around 10:30 p.m.
I guess Shrooms was mad I didn't acknowledge she was here because I didn't see because my phone was frozen. I guess she got mad I didn't say hi right away. So she left to go talk to LB.
Dr. Hood then examined and dissected the neck muscles.
She had some much more subtle bruises and abrasions, very hard to see on her neck where it being.
Yeah, she's real tight with LB nowadays. I don't know. I'm not sure. I would not know.
Stephanie had been drugged and then strangled to death.
I still got to subscribe to him from my new account, I think.
Stephanie was finally laid to rest in her family plot. Immediately after the burial, police brought Craig Rabinowitz in for questioning.
Marie Callender's chicken parmesan is topped with bacon scratch marinara and creamy mozzarella. It's everything you could want in a meal. Of course, 30 grams. Tastes expensive. Only a fraction of the cost of dining out. It's everything you can ask for. Everything also comes with a waiter. What?
But no, I'm upset because Shrooms is so tight with LB anymore that he was late starting up his show. He had a show scheduled and he was late to the show starting it. So Shrooms took it upon herself to unblock LB and hit him up and tell him that his show was late. He was late to his show. And then she said she blocked him again. But still, she hit him up like they're best friends and shit.
But when it's time for treatment, one thing is clear. Brukinsa. Brukinsa is an oral targeted treatment for CLF. It's the only BTKI proven to be superior to both another BTKI and chemotherapy. Most patients have long-lasting results and no disease progression. Brukinsa can cause serious side effects, which
Yeah, I know. I was just fucking with her though.
Serious infections may occur and cause fevers, chills, or flu-like symptoms.
Like she wants to rub his feet and he has toe fungus.
Heart rhythm problems such as fast, irregular heartbeat, lightheadedness, fainting, shortness of breath, or chest discomfort may occur. Tell your doctor if you have bleeding, infections, heart problems, or any other side effect, or if you are or plan to be pregnant with breast
Oh
cancer.
yeah, she can like whoever she wants. I was just getting on her case, like she said she blocked him, but why'd she hit him up in the first place? She must still care about him.
Craig told the same story as he did on the night of Stephanie's death, that he had been watching a hockey game on TV when Stephanie went in to take a bath, and no one else had been in the house. That's when police revealed the evidence that proved Stephanie was dead for 2 hours before he called 911. And that the autopsy proved she had been strangled. Prosecutors concluded that the motive was money.
He had dug himself into this deep hole financially. Now, part of it is lavishing money on the strip, but that he needed to have that cash so that he could get out of debt. Clearly, he could have divorced his wife, run off with the stripper if she had it. But I don't think that she'd have had it
stretched his business scam as far as it could go. His investors wanted to pressure on him. We had evidence that things indicated that they were expecting to get their money at the end of April, but the murder was in the last week of April. And despite Craig's denials, his credit card receipts told investigators that he was visiting local hotels, possibly with Summer.
Some relationships, there were room service for two people, so they assumed that he was going to be with them.
Prosecutors believe Craig set his plan in motion after they returned home from dinner in the Thai restaurant. Before going to bed, Craig spiked Stephanie's drink with his prescription sleep medication, more than enough to knock her out. Carried Stephanie upstairs, removed her clothes, and placed her in the bathtub to drown.
I got so stoned yesterday that I had to make 4 trips downstairs because I kept forgetting stuff. Up and down the stairs, up and down the stairs. Damn, lady mistress. 4 motherfucking times.
The gamble that Craig Rabinowitz gave was that we would not conduct an autopsy.
I think the autopsy decision was a very critical decision. I think because when it first came across, the outward appearances of it was that a horrible accident had taken place. There were sensitivities, I think, trying to be sensitive to the family's wishes to bury Steph.
Damn, you also had to do the laundry? Shit.
But the autopsy found the petechial hemorrhages, the neck bruising, and the 2-hour delay between her death and the 911 call. The forensic accounting uncovered the motive. When he was charged with first-degree murder, Craig Rabinowitz pleaded not guilty. But on his first day in court, he had a change of heart. He said his wife appeared to him in a dream and convinced him to end the trial and confess to what he had done. I think that's complete nonsense. I think for really important selfish reasons. He knew that we would spend several weeks just completely annihilating his character in front of the whole world, including his mother and friends and whatnot.
Craig Rabinowitz, if this proved anything, was a selfish, self-absorbed, weak person. And I think the prosecutor saw his plea not just as a heartfelt act of contrition to help the families, but as a self-serving, cowardly act that allowed him to avoid truly confronting and articulating in public the detail and the exact nature of what he had done.
Craig Rabinowitz was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. I had no doubt that this would work out. Craig would be convicted. What this was doing is setting his family had a much more immediate impact. And I think they really needed closure. They needed full understanding of what had occurred. And I think that's what forensic evidence did.
This is the operating system for results. The weekly workout plan, programmed by an expert coach.
crystal shade in your ear, clean in your court, and nutrition coach in your mind. All designed to keep you on track and fuel your consistency. Now, your workouts, your nutrition, your plan. The murder of a beautiful young woman went unsolved for years. A murder with forensic evidence and plenty of suspects. But sometimes that's not enough. It took the victim's 9-year-old child notations in a diary and forensic psychology to determine which forensic evidence was important and which to ignore. 30-year-old Kathleen Lipscomb was trying to find her way, raising 2 young children while at the same time working as a nurse in San Antonio, Texas.
She was a very caring person. She loved her family. She stayed in constant contact with us.
Kathleen had been married for 8 years to Bill Lipscomb, a sergeant in the United States Air Force, but they had recently separated. Their arrangement was for Bill to take care of their children on weekends. But one Sunday night, Kathleen didn't arrive to pick them up as planned. Bill drove the children to Kathleen's apartment, but she wasn't there, and her car was missing, so they left notes on her door. There was still no sign of her.
One of her coworkers called me and told me that they were worried that she hadn't showed up for work. My stomach kind of knocked my heart up for a minute, and I thought, no, don't have the kids. Kathleen probably went out with some girlfriends or something. She'll be in. She just late today.
Later that same day, a man spotted a nude body along the deserted road outside of town. It was Kathleen Lipscomb. It was clear she had been murdered elsewhere.
Without a doubt, she had been transported from point A to this one B, where she fled. That's the only people that I've ever seen roll with those that I had that vaccine, which was a long-term person. Unfortunately, there were no discernible tire or footwear impressions in their body.
Kathleen's estranged husband, Bill, was immediately called in for questioning.
They take him to see
See, the medical examiner determined the cause of death was strangulation. It appeared Kathleen had sexual relations 24 hours before her death. Friends told police that Kathleen had been dating.
Bitch, I'm grown. Ain't nobody else going to do my laundry.
Through their close association, Kathleen fell in love with him. And she was clearly confident that he loved her too. He promised to get a divorce and marry her. We found out that Robert Cole had had many relationships. He told his girlfriends that he was in fact separated from his wife when he wasn't. And just the jealous ex-wife kind of thing, that was one concern of mine.
Yeah, my bad. I just saw the laugh out loud. I had to scroll up to see the other comment.
And investigators had another suspect. Vincent Romeo, a nurse, worked with Kathleen at the hospital and lived in the same apartment complex. He hadn't shown up for work either.
He had left town. He didn't even go back to pick up his paycheck, nor did he even request that be sent to him.
With so many suspects, investigators hardly knew where to start. 1 week after Kathleen Lipscomb's murder, her car was found in a restaurant parking lot not far from her apartment. Investigators found no foreign fingerprints on or in the car. To determine the time of Kathleen's death, medical examiner Dr. Robert Bucks had 2 ways to tell.
She had eaten Chinese food that was basically digested, which indicates that she had eaten in a short period of time prior to her death.
And the marks on Kathleen's legs were identified as ant bites and helped establish a time frame.
Most of the ant activity occurs during daylight hours, so that probably occurred beginning around dawn on that morning.
These 2 indicators meant Kathleen had probably been killed around dinner time on Sunday night and dumped in the field before dawn. Forensic investigators found 4 strands of red human hair on Kathleen's clothing. Under a stereo microscope, scientists noticed the hairs had no root.
And the root end, you should see the root, which is a bulb-shaped structure, depending on what the stage of the hair growth is.
When magnified 100 times, you can see evidence that the hair was dyed.
Many times you'll see an actual demarcation between the original color of the hair at the root end to the dyed color of the hair towards the tip end of the hair.
All 4 hairs showed the same dye pattern. When compared, the hairs were not similar to Kathleen's estranged husband Bill or her boyfriend, Dr. David Pearl. At the time, genetic testing was still years away. The hair was not squeezed. From the moment you took your first breath, you had something to prove. And boy, you ready. Good form, clouds, cars, sweat, up and down, back and forth, over and over and over again. And when it was finally time to enjoy it all, COPD thought it could stop you. But COPD never met someone like you and kept right on going. Restri is key medicine for women able to better breathe, starting within 5 minutes. And it helps prevent flare-ups. And that's a COPD maintenance treatment that works as hard as you can. Restri won't replace the rest of your head for sudden breathing problems. It's not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Restri more than prescribed. Restri may increase risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsening breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, dry pain occur. Can't afford your medication? AstraZeneca may be able to help. Ready to take back your breath. Ask your doctor about Restri.
Choose to follow your instincts. Every Mazda is designed to feel like it was made just for you.
Wake up.
Me
You always know the right time to call. When life plays dirty, water wipes. Now, 2 times stronger and even softer.
The joy of whole room freshness. Glade Plug-in Scented Oil Fan.
All around you, you don't even know it.
It's the only freshener to use a continuous built-in fan.
It's just there in the air.
Unlike some fresheners that seem strong just around the outlet, the Glade fan continuously circulates fragrance throughout your whole room.
This shit'll blow your motherfucking mind. Magic everywhere in this bitch.
Plug-in Scented Oil Fan from Glade. The
pure motherfucking magic
of fragrance.